Michaela, hey, congratulations on being part of this Hulu's The Dropout.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much.
I know this series is so intriguing. I had to like binge through a bunch of episodes, so I can't wait to get to that conclusion.
I can't wait for you to see the conclusion. It's so wild.
So let's ask that obligatory question we always ask is what initially drew you to a project like The Dropout?
Well, being asked is always a nice way in. And then, I mean, I knew roughly like Elizabeth Holmes, what she'd done, and, you know, I knew the headlines of it, but I hadn't done the deep dive yet. And I watched the documentary about it and I was like, are you kidding me? What? And then I just became obsessed and I started listening to the podcast and then I started reading anything I could. And then the coolest thing that's ever happened to me when I've been shooting a show is, you know, obviously this is a dramatic interpretation of all the events that led up to it, but the trial was happening simultaneously. So now I'm shooting this show and the person that I'm playing opposite is not also sitting on a stand right now having her future determined. And it was really viscerally strange. You know, I do comedies, I do fantasy things, but this is like the first time where real life was intersecting with art in that way. And it was disorienting sometimes.
That must be really surreal for you then, this entire process.
Yes, because Elizabeth Merriweather, who wrote, you know, who created and ran the show, obviously based on The Dropout, but was so in Elizabeth Holmes' head that she was able to sort of precipitate things that were coming out in the trial, that she just, you know, took a little bit of license with, thinking, oh, that must be a little bit how this conversation had to have gone down. And then you would hear that that's how the conversation went down. And you're like, oh my God.
Now, your character, Linda Tanner, is one of the few characters that is not actually based on a particular person in
That's
real
correct.
life.
Yes.
So how do you feel about playing a fictional character that's based on, I want to say, possibly dozens of lawyers out there?
Yes. I think it was a really smart way to sort of take an amalgam of corporate attorneys and turn them into one character that can kind of do the dirty work of all of them and sort of get an idea of what their headspace had to have been. So that's what I felt like I had to bring to the table. And it was really fun because, I mean, my sister's a corporate attorney and I know her job is not this interesting, but I thought, what if my sister's a very ethical person. So, but I just thought it's not every day that corporate attorneys can work for a company that's on such a skyrocket rise like this one, and thinking that your company is going to change the world and that your company is head by a woman who has defied all odds and has raised so much money and has done what no woman in Silicon Valley has ever done. Of course, this woman is going to do everything in her power to protect her and the brand and herself. And by protecting them, she's protecting herself, going, nobody's going to take this away from me. This is amazing. Every day here is a party. Morale is through the roof. Like, we're killing it. So I think that when she sets out to potentially destroy lives, she thinks she's working for the greater good.
So your approach to playing Linda is, I love it, is because you inject humor to such that could be in real life such a serious type of character. I mean, how did you want to handle a character like this, or did you sometimes mimic your sister in a way?
Oh, I'm the thing that I thought about with my sister is like, and she will be the first to say it, like, she's not cool. Like, she's not one of the cool people. Like in Silicon Valley, the attorneys aren't the cool guys. You know what I mean? So I had to constantly keep in check and remember, like, I'm not hip and cool. Like, I still went to law school. I still, you know, had to graduate pretty high in my class. I still had to really prove myself um, on that stage very, very well. But also, I think fallible, like super fallible, and a little bit too pleased with herself, a little bit too excited about her lot in life. And to me, I thought what would be humorous is if you take somebody who's there and then where they are by the end of the series. Um, Although I didn't know what they were going to do with my character, honestly, until I read each script. But I just thought, let's take somebody who just seems a little too pleased with themselves because it'll make the downfall a little enjoyable.
Does it make you a little bit nervous that that you are portraying real life lawyers who actually says or did these actual things?
I mean, nervous for my life, potentially. I hope I don't need one of these lawyers. I hope I don't have to hire David Boies for anything. But that would be something. No, but I think what makes me nervous is, I think just legally, we had to make sure that these lawyers were protected. I can't do everything specifically what they did, but these are the events that happened. It's what happened, and my character is enacting them. And I'll tell you what makes me nervous. You want to know what makes me nervous?
Sure.
What makes me really nervous is seeing firsthand how terrifyingly scary it is to do the right thing at any of these corporations, like when the corporate culture is such that it was at Theranos, that the bravery and the what you're willing to withstand to call out when something feels off is too much. It makes me uncomfortable. I want to feel like it's a little easier to call out when there's something is not passing the sniff test. And apparently it's terrifying. Terrifying. So the people who did at Theranos are legit heroes, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I guess we can't exactly tell since they hold these corporate rallies, and you seem to have a lot of fun with them.
100%. Actually, that was the way into my character. Was when I was watching the documentary, I was watching this one where they were all like in the bullpen having this party, and I saw this one woman like just dancing to like pump up the volume, and she was just loving life and loving herself so much. And I thought, there's Linda Tanner. I don't even know who that woman is. It was somebody it was just somebody in the background. That's the jumping off point for my character. Somebody who's just fully baked in.
Most excellent. Well, let me leave with one more thought with you, Michaela. After being on this entire series, what do you think of Elizabeth Holmes now?
What do I think of her now?
Yes.
I think what she did is, I don't know. I mean, I want to say that I want to believe that she really believed that she was that putting out something really excellent for the world that was going to, absolutely transform healthcare. In my heart, I feel like Linda Holmes is sort of an example of fixed mindset gone awry. Like, it's good to have confidence, but then when it skips into delusion and that delusion has real life consequences, it's highly problematic for society. And I think that she is sort of a living example of that.
Excellent answer. And that's why we stick in entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah. I want people to know I'm lying. I want them to know that this is all fake.
Excellent. Michaela, it's a wonderful conversation. Hopefully I get to do this again with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.